Greetings, everyone. This is Jeff Wilkerson, Professor of Physics at Luther College, bringing you the next in our series of what to look for in the night sky. We're looking at the week of December 25th, 2023 this time around. It's a moon week. We've got a lot of moon. The moon starts the week basically full and wanes away as the week goes on, but it's going to wash out the sky and make it hard to see things. So as we do on these weeks, we'll find a few things that are bright and can hold up to the full moon for us to look at, but we're going to look at the moon itself and see what's happening as it passes by stars and planets and such. And so we'll start right on the evening of the 25th. On the evening of the 25th, the moon is basically full. Full moon is up all night, so you can do this observing any time in the night. And the full moon, it will pass within about 1.5 degrees of El Nath on this night. El Nath, we've talked about before in this video series. It's one of we like this star. It's in Taurus the Bull, and we find Taurus the Bull often by finding the V of the Hyades and big bright orange Aldebaran in the bottom of that V. And then you extend the top arm of the V out a good long ways, and you get a good bright star, 1.6, 1.7 magnitude star out at the end of that extension. And that's El Nath in Taurus the Bull, Beta Tauri, that star is. We like that star for a number of reasons, but one of the reasons we like that star is that it is the brightest star that's relatively close to the galactic anticenter. And so it is of all the really good bright stars, first, second magnitude stars that you can see out there, it's the one that's closest to the anticenter. So we're orbiting the center of the Milky Way every 235 million years or so. And as we orbit the center of the Milky Way, we can look at in the direction of the center is Sagittarius. We look in the exact opposite right now. It's on across the border from Taurus on into Auriga, but El Nath is very close right there. So that's something to think about as you watch that. Up all night, basically. By 7 o'clock, probably earlier than that, by 6:30 or so, Orion will have crawled across the horizon. It depends on your local horizon and where you are in your time zone. This is for me, 6:30 or 7. Orion is getting to be high in the sky, climbed into the sky so you can see it, not high in the sky. But this is a typical winter sky. You know, we think of Orion and Taurus as being markers of the winter sky, and here we are, as it should be, as we're turning the calendar to a new year coming up here this week. Orion's in the sky basically all night, and Taurus is in the sky all night. Now, a couple nights later, the moon will have moved over to Castor and Pollux, the twin stars, and will slide within 2.5 degrees or so underneath Pollux. If you ever wanted to measure how fast the moon is moving against the background stars, right? The moon, we're orbiting, and the moon is orbiting us, and as the moon orbits, it's moving against those background stars. We see it projected against different stars at different positions on the sky. And as it's moving around, we can watch it move this night. And Castor and Pollux, again, up most of the night here, the twin stars, rising 8 o'clock, maybe even earlier than that by now. So they're joining, yeah, if they're right up there with Orion coming up. And so Castor and Pollux get into the sky before too long. You can see the moon sliding right across there basically all night. The longer you watch it, you'll see it start to the east of Pollux and end up to the west of Pollux. And so you can actually track just how fast the moon's moving. So it's something fun to look for that night if you got clear skies and you're out and checking that out. A few days later, on the evening of the 30th into the 31st, the moon will be near the bright star Regulus in the base of the sickle of Leo. Remember, Leo has the triangle head out this direction. So you got Leo up here, and Regulus will slide a couple of degrees below, the moon will slide a couple of degrees below Regulus. The moon will have waned away by the 30th to be about 80% still full, still very full, very difficult for observing faint objects in the sky. But it's there, it slides past Regulus this night, and so something we can think about is to say, if you drop down to the south and a little bit to the west of south from Regulus, about 23 degrees, so a couple of fist widths, maybe a little bit more than a couple of fist widths at arm's length, the first really bright star you come to is Alphard. We've talked about Alphard before. It's the brightest star in Hydra, and it's about 23 degrees south-southwest of Regulus. And then if you move back toward the east, you come across other stars in Hydra, Lambda Hydra and New Hydra. These are 3.5 magnitude stars, so visible, but not super bright, easily visible. and it will even hold up to a little bit of light pollution. For me, mid-northern latitudes in the middle of the United States, for me, these are close enough to the southern horizon that I can lose them a little bit in the soup that is the southern horizon. But we move across there, and this distance from New to Alphard is about the same distance as Regulus to Alphard. So you've got a sort of triangle with these two sides being about the same. So you've got the length here of those two being about the same. Now, if you move on just a little bit more, just hop on out. You come across 3 stars right there. There's a 4th fainter star right there. And these are the stars. We've moved out of, at this point, we've moved out of Hydra and into Crater. And these are the stars of Crater. I don't think in the years and years and years we've been doing this video series, I don't think we've ever talked about Crater. So this seemed like an opportunity to do it. Use the moon and Regulus, drop down to Alphard, move across past Lambda and Nu, and you get to fainter stars. Delta Crater, why the Delta star is the brightest one there, I don't know. But Delta Crater is 3.6 magnitude, is the top of the triangle right here. And you've got Alpha and Gamma that are both 4th magnitude stars, so relatively faint stars that make up this triangle down here, the rest of this triangle. See if you can find those stars just past Nu. If you see the bright quadrilateral that is Corvus, Corvus stars are quite a bit brighter. You've gone too far. So if you see a pattern of stars that looks like this, and it's significantly brighter, you've moved too far this direction, and head back and look for these stars. If you find Gamma, Gamma is a fine double star. It's 6 arc seconds separates the 2 stars, which means you can see it with a decent telescope. So you got a good 6-inch backyard telescope or an 8-inch backyard telescope. You should see Gamma Crater. You should be able to see those 2 components of that binary star system pretty well. So that's a good double star for you to observe, and it's something for you to do on a full moon night, because you got, again, by this night it's 80% full, but still washes out a lot of the sky. You're far enough away from there, and the stars you can see against that washed out sky pretty well. So check it out. See if that's something for you to do with your small telescope. See if you can find that double star. Now, this is great, all good stuff, but what we can do is keep an eye on Venus in the morning. So in the morning of January 1st, yay, Happy New Year, everybody. In the morning of January 1st, we've been watching Venus all fall and winter as it moved from Leo into Virgo, into Libra, and now it's moved on even more. And this is sort of mind-blowing, right? Here on the 1st of January, right in the middle of dead winter, we've got Venus sits within less than a degree of a relatively bright star, a 2.6 magnitude star right there. So this is a pretty easy star to see. And Venus is still rising. Venus is not as high in the morning sky as it was just a few weeks ago, but Venus is still rising, still almost a full 3 hours before the sun. So it has a chance to get up pretty high in the sky for you to be able to see it before the sky starts to get washed out by sunlight. So this is a great thing to check out, maybe as late as 7 o'clock in the morning, by 6:30 in the morning. So try something sort of 6:15 to 7:15 in the morning is the time to be checking this out. And you've got that star is AcrabGraffias, and that star is one of the stars in the head of Scorpius. And Scorpius, there could be no more iconic marker of summer than Scorpius and Sagittarius. These are our stars of the summer sky. These are the ecliptic stars, the zodiacal constellations of the summer sky. And so here we are, the stars that mark the head of Scorpius, big, bright, and Aries back here. This is where we are, and Venus is closing right in on it, and it'll get even closer the next day. And so we'll check it the next morning and see where it is. We'll talk about that next week. But we've got Scorpius. We've got the stars of summer already making an appearance in the early morning sky as we move into January here. So it tells us that the time just keeps rolling on there. It just keeps going forward. Now, this is also a fine double star. It's got about twice as much separation as Gamma Crater did. And so it's easier to split even. And so you've got your telescope out. Just about any telescope you have, any backyard telescope is going to be able to split this very easily. 13, 14 arc seconds separates those two stars. So it's a great double star to check out. So you've got two double stars here for you to be able to check out. One of them's got Venus closing right in on it. You don't have to wait until the morning of the 1st. You can watch Venus earlier in the week as it closes in on AcrabGraffias, and then you can check it out and see if you can see split that double star. So you got a couple of good double stars to look at. You got the moon passing by stars as the week goes on, and we got Venus here in the morning sky, starting to move away from the morning sky. We're going to lose it, but Mercury and Mars are in that region and getting a little easier to see. They're still a little too close to the sun this week to see, I think, but in a few weeks, Mars will have moved up, and we'll be able to be talking about Mars in the morning sky, replacing Venus. So that's what we got for you, everybody. We hope you have a great week. As always, thanks for watching.